good morning, and welcome to my Monday messages. It's pretty wet here in Ireland, which comes as no surprise because that's what it's like here most of the time. But yesterday, oh my God, it was so beautiful. And the wind was warm, which is really unusual. It's been really cold for a long time. So I had another lovely sea swim, and that's really restoring me. And I'm finding it's actually really helping my cough to move on out, which is great. So I hope you're finding ways to keep yourself healthy as well. So today I wanted to talk about beliefs, but particular beliefs actually around things like hair. Because we think that our choices are choices. We're making choices that suit us and that are, part of who we are, basically. And they kind of are. And they're not always driven by real choice, if that makes sense. They're often driven, or if not always, by our underlying beliefs. And I think most of us kind of get that on a wider level in terms of, maybe our relationships or what we think of ourselves and, all of those kind of wider themes. But I was thinking about it, even in the little things, the seemingly little things, like our attitude to hair, for example. Now, my hair, this mane, is actually the longest it's ever been in my entire life. Even as a child, I did not have hair this length or this thick or this healthy, actually. And that is largely down to me. Obviously, as a child, I didn't have much choice. So I was actually working with my mother's beliefs, and most of my younger adult years, my attitude towards hair was very much informed by my mother's beliefs around hair. And she had a thing about long hair. She didn't think it was something that women of any age should be sporting. Even as children, we were encouraged to tie our hair back all the time, get it off your face. I remember her saying that. And to have it cut short. And for those of you who've been following me for a while, you may remember that up until 2019, I think, maybe 2020, I'm not sure, I had very short hair. And I used to go to the hairdresser every 6 weeks or so to have it maintained in a short style. And to cut long story short, it was so bloody unpleasant going to the hairdresser at that time with masks and even more toxic stuff being sprayed at me. Good morning, Bridge. Thanks for joining me. I hope you're well. And I basically decided this is so vile. I am not coming back to the hairdresser until all that stuff goes away and I can visit it without all those impediments. Cut a long story short, the more it grew, my hair, the more I liked it and the more I felt like me. And I'm not saying that was all down to my hair growing, but I do actually really feel it was a huge part of it. I started to feel that this is what I needed to do, that it was part of me, and that I was, it became a kind of metaphor, if you like, for my own personal growth and expansion. And now, every time I think about cutting it, the only reason I do think about cutting it is if that little voice comes in, which is usually my mother's saying, aren't you a bit old to have hair that length now? And can you just tie it back? And it's a bit unruly, isn't it? And I do tie it back a lot, and I can do all sorts of things with it, which I love. But I love my hair now. It feels like part of me. It feels like my mane, if you like, especially as I'm a Leo. And I'm meant to have long hair. I'm meant to shake my hair. And for me, it's just become synonymous with my own growth into becoming elder. And it made me think about all the little beliefs that we carry around things like hair. And actually, bodily hair is a really interesting subject, isn't it? Why are we so ashamed of our bodily hair, including head hair sometimes? Why do we feel the need to hide it, to shave it, to disguise it, to dye it a different colour, to deny it, basically? Now, there's a story, I don't know if you've actually heard it, but it fascinated me when I first heard it. It's a story of the US Army recruiting First Nation men for their tracking abilities in the Vietnam War, and finding out that, and I'm praising this a lot, finding out that because they were made to cut their hair to the very short army length, that their tracking abilities they disappeared, or they were really diminished. And allegedly the army even did an experiment where they took two men, First Nation men, one of whom had his hair cut and the other one left it long, and they were told, you need to survive undetected all night in this jungle or this forest. And the one who had his hair cut was discovered after a couple of hours, and the one who kept his hair long managed to stay undetected all night. And the First Nation peoples have been credited with associating long hair as being very much part of their nervous systems, or our nervous systems, and part of our ability to detect and respond to our external environment. And in fact, science kind of backs this up, because when the hairs stand up on the back of our neck or on our bodies, if we're frightened, the purpose of that, according to some sections of science, is that the skin, those goosebumps, those parts of our skin stand up and make us much more aware of our external environment, and therefore better able to respond. Now, and that's not only about danger. Because, people can describe when they're listening to a really powerful piece of music, or, somebody telling a really powerful story, that the same thing can happen. Goosebumps can come, and, it can make our skin feel something. So I really firmly believe that there's something in that, and there's the biblical story as well about Samson. Sorry, I don't know my Bible very well. Samson, and being hoodwinked by Delilah into having all his hair cut off, and that meaning that his incredible legendary strength was sapped. And yes, they may be just stories. Even if that weren't actually factually true, it reveals to me the power of belief. That if we believe something to be true, then it will come true. It will affect us in some way. So I just wanted today to encourage you to think about where in your life, in your choices, and that might be not so much the really big patterns, although obviously they have a part to play, but even on those smaller things that we do, perhaps without thinking about them, the way we wear our hair, the way we, what we decide to dress in each day, or just generally, where are the beliefs that we might be carrying that influence those choices and those decisions? And how do they change as we get older, as we grow and evolve? Another thing I can think of is leopard skin. My mother would be horrified to see me wearing leopard skin. You know, for her, it was very much associated with, I don't know if any of you are old enough to remember, a fantastic Coronation Street figure called Bet Lynch. She was your kind of archetypal barmaid, the kind of tart with a heart, if you like. And she wore huge earrings and she had peroxide hair, a bit like Barbara Windsor, I suppose. And although she was a little bit of a darker character, and she wore leopard print. And for me, growing up, that was like, you never choose to wear leopard print. That's really common. That's really kind of mutton dressed as lamb. And there's a lot of leopard prints around this year, fashion-wise. And one of the lovely people that I follow, lovely woman, had a whole selection of leopard print dresses and clothing items. And I thought, you know what, I actually really like it. And I actually found in my secondhand shop that I visit here, Lovely Goose in Tralee. If you're in Tralee, go there. It's fab. And I found a lovely leopard print dress that I adore. Not wearing it today. So I'm already bucking my mother's beliefs in that I'm got my hair long and wild, and I'm also wearing leopard print. And you know what? I bloody love it. So let's all just look at those little choices and work out where those beliefs are coming from, how they're working for us now, and whether we want to keep them or not. So that's my kind of message for today, is to have a look at the small things and explore what beliefs may be running those. And thank you, Breed. Good for me. Yeah, it's not, leopard skin is not in and of itself, carrying anything really. It's how you wear it and it's what you believe about it. And one of the beautiful things about becoming elder is a lot of me just doesn't actually care what other people think, although I do care deeply about them, if that makes sense. So that's it. I'm probably going to descend into rambling now, but have a look at those things. And actually, I'd be really interested to know, what do you feel about the way that you choose to wear your hair? Whatever age you are, do you absolutely love your hair? When you think of how you wear it each day, does it make you feel like, yes, this is me? Or is it something you never think about, and that maybe you'd like to do something different with? Who knows? I don't know. So let me know. Give me a heart in the comments if you love the way that you wear your hair and you love your hair. And maybe if you don't, have a look at why that's the case and what you can do to change that. And obviously, if I can help you in any way, then I would love to do that. Okay, that's it. Have a fabulous week, and thank you very much for joining me. Thank you, Breed, and have a beautiful day. Bye.